ISUPK.
We want no cowards in our camp, and our camp only men prepare to die. We want no cowards in our camp, and our camp never let their brothers die. We want no cowards in our camp, and our camp only men prepare to die.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground. Back up. Give ground. Give ground. Back up. Give ground. Give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground. 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 My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground. 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 My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground. Take ground. Take ground. Nah, this ain't no movement. This a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem? Tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour pass. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him, then let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race that made merchandise out of my abuse. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take ground, take ground, take ground. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth, nigga, cool yo. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay dearly. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, with a true sin, hey, when warriors dwell. Be wise with them weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my octave gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that mean? Fall on his ass. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Long live one West. Say what? Long live one West. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for done made the truth docile. That's why we on the corner crying aloud, looking hostile. It's UPK style, can't stop now. Far as this warfare couldn't last one round. Let the oppressed rise, and let the rich mourn till the sundown. Enough with these chickens, about to make it hot, call it compound. This for my niggas, put the guns in the drugs down. Dwelling in peace till the Lord call for the bloodhounds. Try to decide my death and got beside yourself. Swore drawn for what you perform, how you gon' hide yourself? Devil got to die for his lies and events. Ain't got no love for them crackers, nah, just cruel intentions. And in my father's house is spinning mansions. I got plenty bitches, worthy of vengeance. This your death sentence. I'm talking slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter. That they do not rise and fill the world with lies. Ain't die for your skin, you gon' die for your crime. I'm talking to you. Ain't got no love for them. So war for your life. Your life try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that the end is still. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah. Now they shook from vicious words out this handed book. About to take these rappers back to school. My flow standing hook. They crossed the line, ain't no coming back. You became no cowards. The only thing sweet is the honey check. Righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow. And hand down death for them devils. There's no tomorrow. Why? Cause they violence leave a man a stiff corpse. You see a flag in a badge, I see horns in a pitchfork. Go ahead. So please believe it, the white man is a demon, and I ain't gon' vote for them to free me. No. They beat us till we the color purple, that's why this knife till they throat like ceiling. You got this nigga on his knees, they wanna have peace. We screaming, let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of revenge. I told her I'd do anything she please, as I squeeze on the double D's. Fuck you mean? I'm talking to you. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter. That they do not rise and fill the world with lies. Ain't die for your skin, you gon' die for your crime. That's why I'm talking to you. So warn for your life. Your life try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that the end is still. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah.
The police just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration. That's the police officer over there that did it. With the black on. I can't really do shit because they got me handcuffed. I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking back! Ah!
It's okay, I'm right here with you.
I'm telling you, man. They really ain't gonna believe that I got a baby in my arms while I'm doing this. Little Zahar, man, won't be quiet, but check it out, yo. Yo. Playing spades, reminiscing on days before niggas started shooting, we would still catch fades. It's like the world's a lot scarier since crack grenades, and the only thing that we became is rats in the maze. Cause all my brother cares about is trapping in J's. Mine's fucked up from the pills and the haze. Pop said we hard-headed, stuck in our ways. So I've been praying to the Most High that it's just a phase, yup. Hardly surprised and always amazed, especially at what's been getting radio plays. Yo, I wanna be the cataclysm of a cataclysm, bomb atomically and take it back to lyricism. But you know nowadays, it seems like it's forbidden. Anybody in the industry knows they ain't fucking with them, and anyone on sign, they wanna be outshined. So I guess it's just me, myself, and all these empty lines. I never knew that being nice would get you penalized. Once you blowing up, they wanna know your penis size. Hoes all staring, saying you got dreamy eyes. And if you ain't fake, they wanna see you demonized. If they be dropping gems, then this flow is El Dorado. A midnight marauder, young desperado with a bravado. That's a hard act to follow. Make your favorite rapper look like amateurs at the Apollo. Yo, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Me and my vato steady painting pictures like Picasso. Feds trying to clock us like Pablo and Gustavo. Go and tell, straight to the Gestapo. Hola muchacho, yo hablo español. El hombre blanco es el diablo. Now I'm going over heads like a poncho. Trying to stack chips with more cheese than some nachos. Why you acting macho? Your whole clique is gato. They ain't want beef, but I feel it like a taco. Yo, don't get it twisted like a rasta. Don't be bringing none of that bullshit into mi casa. You ain't seen this much crack since the Contras. Belly of the beast, we all live inside a monster. That's why I be thanking God I'm alive, tapping into different vibes, penning more than a scribe. Every verse an open letter sent to all the tribes. Lost in the ghetto, steady struggling to survive, yo. The things I seen with a pair of eyes got me out here living in this life desensitized. Part of the reason that I'm hardly if ever surprised. I've heard the screams of brothers and seen mothers that cried. Seen a soul leave a body right before he died. 23 years old, gunned down before his prime. While your favorite rapper only talking dollar signs. But when our people in trouble, they quiet as a mime. Every day is the struggle, I speak it through these lines. That's how I know they can relate, I speak their daily lives. I'm representing for my nation or the lost tribes. All my people that been locked up ain't see 25. Cause being born a minority was their first crime. They serve and protect, choking your neck, sever your spine. They murder one of us, no guilty verdict when they try. They wonder why they get no respect and we call them swine. Live in a time where you lose your life and become a vine. Friends turn to t-shirts, corners turn to shrines. And if our leader ain't a Pharisee, then he's a scribe. Cause he ain't coming out unless he thinks he can scrape a dime. Get his name in the paper, face in the lime. The world's black and white and you better pick a side. If I wasn't strong enough, then I would break inside. But I found the truth right before I lost my mind. Sorry mama, I promised it wouldn't change me, but I would've went insane had I remained the same me. And I know you feel the same way if they slay me. So when I say the white man is the devil, don't blame me. I'm not here to make friends, kiss babies, shake hands, fuck politics. Yo, what's affecting all the college kids? I mean, why did the students shoot up the colleges? Newborns found in shopping bags and garbages. All these problems that nobody acknowledges. Promise you one thing, you gonna acknowledge this.
You know what I mean? Like that.
ISUPK.
Brotherhood is the one thing that we got. The only thing that we got right now is the ability to stand amongst ourselves and join, man, one body against every other body that's against us, man.
What are you doing to show that you love your people?
Brotherhood is the one thing that we got. The only thing that we got right now is the ability to stand amongst ourselves and join, man, one body against every other body that's against us, man.
What are you doing to show that you love your people?
How do I know we the children of Israel? Because it's in the Bible and we can prove it with countless other artifacts out here. touch. The brother had a question about what was his question? The Armageddon scriptures. So we're gonna get some of the Armageddon scriptures, and also I wanted to, I want to go down through there on endurance. You know what I'm saying? Bring out some scriptures on, enduring this hell that we in. Now, notice, seem like weekly our challenges get, more robust. Seem like we got to be close because of all the hate, man, and the scrutiny on the Israelite school in UPK. You know what I mean? But we have to be, as Christ ordered us to be, as perfect as our Father is in heaven, man. Because one spoken word, I'm gonna notice a lot of our videos are getting, pushed off Facebook and certainly on YouTube. So it seems like we got to be close, man, because this our oppressor, man, is ramping up the scrutiny on the Israelite school in UPK. All right, first, we could talk about first some of the Armageddon scriptures. I know Christ spoke it best. He gave a prophecy to the disciples, and we often go through these scriptures of Christ telling you what shall be the end or the signs of the end. Before we go there, let's get second Esdras 7 and verse 6. I'm going to read 6 through 17. Let's talk about that first. Second Esdras 7, Salakia, chapter 7 and the 6th verse. Let's start at verse 6. Well, I can quickly show you the script out right now. Second Esdras 6 and so Rob, go ahead and get that for me, please. Second Esdras, these scriptures that you asked about anyway, the Armageddon scriptures. So second Esdras 7, the 7th chapter, start at verse 6.
Verse 6. In the book of Second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is built and set up upon a broad field, and is full of all good things.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow.
Is what?
Is narrow.
Go ahead.
And is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
What verse?
That's verse 7. That's the end of verse 7.
Keep going.
Verse 8. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water.
Go ahead.
So small, that there could be one man go there at once. Verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before him, how shall he receive this inheritance?
What are we talking about? Anybody want to break that down? Break it down from the top there. Let's start verse 6. Go ahead. Read it one more time.
There is also another thing. The city is built and set upon a broad
So
field.
we're talking about a city that's built and set on a broad field. Go ahead.
And is full of all good things.
Right, so this city, large city set on a broad field, and it's filled with nothing but good things. Go ahead.
Come on, God. The entrance thereof is narrow.
So what are we talking about? What is the city? What does this city represent? Go ahead.
The kingdom of heaven.
Come. Excellent. Keep going.
Come on, God. The entrance.
Read it one more time. The sister just walked in.
Come on, God. There, Second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things.
The city is built and set upon a broad field, and is filled with nothing but good things. Go ahead.
The entrance thereof is narrow.
The entrance to this city is narrow, meaning it's just this little bitty path to get to the city. The entrance, the doorway is very, very narrow. Go ahead.
And is set in a dangerous place to fall.
And it's set. The entrance of this place is set in a area that is very dangerous. You know, imagine you happen to walk through that door, and you got all sorts of say you had animals, lions and tigers on one side, and robbers and all other evil things on the other side. So it's set in a what? Read it again.
Oh God. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place.
Some place that could, if you went one way or the other, you could possibly do yourself some harm. Michelle, what's the hold up on that package, priest? It's a package that just came in, right? Can you help me out with that? Please, Hebrew 12. Go ahead.
Come to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
So if you like this narrow path, this narrow entrance, on either side of it is something that could cause you harm if you went one way or the other. If you didn't keep a straight and narrow, you could fall either left or right and meet your death. All right. What are we talking about? We know the city is the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead, Natazan.
Slack, yes, sir. May I please pull the precept referencing this? Matthew 7, verse 13. Give me a second. Matthew 7, verse 13. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy and leads to destruction.
Read the verse above that.
Come on, sir. Sorry, sir.
Somebody help him out. Where were you at? Matthew what?
Matthew 7 chapter, sir. I didn't want to grab the King James version of it. That was the problem. I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them.
Go ahead.
For this is the law and the prophets. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
So wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Go ahead.
And many there be which go in therein. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life.
Which leadeth unto what?
Unto life.
That's the precept right there for it. What verse was that?
Verse 14, sir.
What did you read at first?
Matthew 7, verse 13.
Yeah, it was giving you two contrasts right there. So the other one was talking about, it's a many ways by which you could fall off. You know what I mean? Women, drugs, money, power, fame, many ways that you could, you could engage in that could possibly lead to your death or lead to you falling out of the truth. You know what I'm saying, etc. Because there's so many different avenues by which you could destroy yourself, meaning you could spoil yourself in a way that you wouldn't be worthy of the kingdom of the crown that all of us seek. There's many ways to destroy you, right? To spoil you. And that is the metaphor for it being a wide path. You know what I mean? But for the kingdom of heaven, the path is very, very narrow, right? And the entrance is narrow as well. But there are many ways by which you can destroy yourself, hence the wide path and the broad doorway. perspective in terms of something that could lead to you falling off from the truth. All right. So go back to our original precept, or original, I believe it was 7.
Verse 8. And one only path between them both, even the fire and the water, so small.
That was verse 8?
Verse 8.
The beginning of it? Go ahead. One more time from the top.
And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small.
Meaning this small path, what we just spoke about. This very, very small path, man. It's difficult, man. You know what I'm saying? You're required to be as perfect as the Most High is in heaven in the Israelite school of UPK. We don't accept anything, you know, short. You know what I mean? We don't compromise that. You know, you can't come in here and say, oh, you know, I did this and I did that, and not expect to be corrected. You know what I mean? That's just us, man. We push the Bible 100%. All right, keep going.
Yeah, right. Come. That there could but one man go there at once.
Meaning this path is so narrow, it's only wide enough for one man to go through at a time. See that? Contrary to the path that leads to destruction, we can all go at the same time. You know what I mean? We can all meet our demise doing the same thing. We could be getting high. We could, be murdering and robbing. All of us doing the same thing. A part of one clique that's associated with a bunch of mayhem, and we all go down for that. You know, that path that leads to destruction is extremely wide. All right, keep going.
Come. Verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance,
go ahead.
If he never shall pass the danger set before him, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Read it one more time.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before him, how shall he receive this inheritance?
This right here, this is a cut on so many different perspectives in the Bible, man, about Christ. You know what I mean? One, you know, that he's born of some immaculate conception. You know, like some angel had relationships with Mary, and Christ was born from that, or the Most High himself somehow impregnated Mary, and Christ was born like that. This scripture right here, if you really get the understanding of it, it blows away so many thoughts as it relates to that disgusting Christian church. Read it one more time. Let's see if anybody else understands what we just read.
Come. Verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Somebody give me that perspective on that.
Come.
Go ahead.
If you can't get past the test and the dangers and the narrow path, and you can't go through the fire, how could you even have the inheritance if you can't even go through the pain that comes behind it?
Right. One more time, read the verse again.
Come. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Go ahead, Michelle.
I don't want to come. The city is given to me. The city is given to me, and let's just say the majority of the people, 51% of the people, they're walking the wide path. That's a danger to me and anybody else seeking the truth, because we can fall into that wide path and miss the truth. The truth is a narrow path. So I have to only obey the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. If all the temptations that this city brings me, I fall in with, then I have not surpassed the temptations. I have not surpassed the danger. As you mentioned many times before, Satan is absolutely good That's what he does. And that is to prove who don't deserve the kingdom of heaven.
Okay, so, all right, I'm hearing, and I'm probably gonna have to holler at General. You want to get in on that?
Yeah, I think he's saying you got a city. Right now we have a city. Right? As UPK, we got the whole earth. If we don't warn them of what's to come, then what was that last line?
If he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
No, just remember what we just read. What did we just read? We just read that this city that's filled with good things that's set on a broad hill, right? And the path that leads to it is very, very narrow. And then the entrance on each side, it has dangerous things. Like it's a fire on one side and water on the other side, right? If you go left or right, what happens? You drown or you burn up. So you have to do what? Go straight ahead, right? Now read the next part again, that same verse.
If he never shall pass the danger set before it.
Are you starting at the beginning of the verse? Please start at the beginning of the verse.
If this city now were given unto a man.
No, if this city now were given to a man. Right, now what city are we talking about? We're talking about the kingdom of heaven. Has that kingdom been given to a man? What man was the kingdom given to? That's right. That's what I'm hearing in this right here. Right, Salaki, I'm gonna have to, because so many of y'all disagree, I'm gonna have to ask General Muhammad. I think I could be wrong. I'm about 50% sure it's talking about Christ, and that's why I alluded to that it cut so much of Christianity, because Christ had to be born just like we were. He had to be able to he would have to be made up exactly what we're made up of in order for the temptation to be real. You know what I mean? Had he not been successful, it would mean that we couldn't be successful. You see what I'm saying? So read it one more time. Let me just hear it one more time, then I'm gonna let you back in. I could be wrong. Go ahead.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before.
Meaning Christ wanted the children of Israel in the kingdom of heaven. He wanted them for an inheritance, right? What did he have to do in order to gain that city? Look, read it one more time.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it.
If he didn't come down here and endure the same hill that you and I are enduring, and even more so, right? If he didn't carry that burden, if he didn't die, if he didn't give himself for a willing sacrifice, and on top of all of that, experience life as we know it, right? If that was never his burden, right? Read the next part. How what?
How shall he receive this inheritance?
How could he receive it? How could he even be over us? You know what I'm saying? It would have to be a whole different thing that Christ would own. Wouldn't be us. Go ahead.
So now I got a whole different thing of it. The scriptures say the kingdom of heaven is at hand, which Christ told the disciples to tell us that. So we got a kingdom of heaven at hand, but it's also danger set before you get to that kingdom.
That's correct.
It's all type of obstacles in the way of you getting into the kingdom of heaven.
How many times, not to cut you off, but how many times have we, been tempted? Think about that. How many times have we been tempted, man? You know, since we've been in the truth. I'm like, man, why is this coming at me like this now? You know what I mean? And you got to endure it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't overcome it and you fall into the fire, you're a dead man. Or you drown, you're a dead person. But you wanted to add something to it?
Kind of concept.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna bring up, the precept on when Christ, was being tried by Satan. That was a test,
Exactly.
to get him to deviate from his original mission.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Just to finish. So I think it's talking about Jacob.
Rashad, do we have any ice over there? Go ahead.
I think it's talking about Jacob, the whole 12 tribes of Israel.
Sloppy, my bad. Go ahead.
I think it's talking about the whole 12 tribes of Israel getting that kingdom, but you got to go through the trouble that's set before that city in order to reach the inheritance, and then on top of that, I mean that's what it is.
So it's either, listen, read it one more time. So it's either talking about individuals because it's only one person can pass through at a time. So, one of us pass through at a time, right? Meaning that it's dangerous things that we're going to face in the world. Old people going to try to pull you back in the streets. The money going to seem a little bit better now. You're going to have all sorts of people calling you, man, from way back, when and trying to get you to do something different than the path you're on right now. Family, man, gonna hate you, man. Even your loved ones. Even, believe it or not, Christ said, think not that I came to bring peace on earth, but a sword, man. He started with your family members. He said he came to set a man at variance with his father. It's like I'm paraphrasing that, man. The daughter against her mother. You know what I'm saying? So you could instead of battling those that call the ISUPK a hate group or all them other negative names that we get, instead of battling, you agree with them at some point, and you fall off of the truth, and you wind up back in the fire. You wind up a dead man again. Go ahead, Zarok.
So my question is, like for this scripture, like Christ, he set the main example for this scripture. We all have to go through.
Yeah, hell yeah. You have to.
Because if I could,
this is a scripture about bearing the cross.
And the cup, that cup.
Give me a double with it. About bearing the cross. You know what I'm saying? If you're not willing to bury it, give me the precept.
And is this a precept for it though? That one where it's talking about is they willing to drink the cup out?
Yeah.
That lady was talking about.
That's
her
right.
kids?
Hold on. Paraphrasing.
She was trying to get her kids to sit on the right and the left hand of Christ, and he was like, I'm paraphrasing. They got to drink. Is they willing to drink the cup that I drunk of?
No, that ain't. I think you're mixing two different breakdowns. Find it for me. Find what you're talking about.
So like that one, will it be must pick up his cross and follow me?
That's right. That's the one. Give me that one right there. If you're not the one where it says if you're not willing to carry your cross, or something like that. Meaning, you're not willing to go through the same fire and affliction and hell, torment. You know what I mean? And slavery. All right, while you grabbing that, keep reading, Zarok.
Verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Verse 11. Because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Verse 12. Then were the entrance of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil full of perils, and very painful. Verse 13. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labored not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
Give me that verse one more time.
Which one, sir?
The one you just read. Give me that one over.
Verse 14. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things.
What are we talking about? Actually, give me the verse above that and read that one again.
Verse 13. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live.
What is the entrance of the former world? What are we talking about? We know.
The former world of Israel?
What do you mean? Read the verse above it.
In Adam's time?
God, read the verse above it.
Verse 12. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail, and they are few and evil, full of...
That's 13. Give me 12 then. Slide.
It's 12.
Well, give me 11.
Verse 11. Because their sakes I made the world.
The Israelites, right? So start at, what is that, 10? What verse is that, 10 or 11?
10.
Give me, go back up to, start at 8 again, slide.
Verse 8. And one only path between them both, and even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there once.
Go ahead.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive the inheritance?
Go ahead.
And I said,
we broke that down already, didn't we? Right. So if there is no basically no test, right? If there is no if like the Christians say, all you have to do is just show up for church on Sunday, and you can pay your tithes, and then you enter into the kingdom of heaven. They put no real morality, no real there's no morals, there's no laws that govern you. So entering into the kingdom of heaven, as far as the Christian church is concerned, it's not a task, anything that you would have to put any real effort to accomplish. It's easy entering into the kingdom. You can be whatever you want to be, right? Do whatever you want to do with whoever you want to do it with, according to the Christian church, right? So that's not really the description that the Bible is giving us right here about the path that leads to the kingdom of heaven. Keep reading.
Oh God. And I said, it is so. Lord, then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow, travail, that they are the few and evil, full of perils, and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
If they're not willing to endure, you know what I mean, to just like Adam and Eve wasn't successful, right, in enduring temptation, right, and they didn't labor of slocky, and they didn't obey the Most High, I want to say, right, meaning that when the temptation came, they just succumbed to it. So So what the result of what they did brings about the world that we're in, full of what? Pain and sorrow and anguish, is what the scripture is saying. All right? Keep going. And hell and captivity. You know what I mean? The path that leads to destruction is wide now. You know what I'm saying? You know, because of what they did, man, it's the knowledge of good and evil, we know about it. You know what I mean? We know what the consequences of disobeying the Most High is because of Adam and Eve. Right? We endure a death that's absent of the protection of the Most High. Meaning, we just walking around now. The vast majority of the Israelites walking around right now without any moral compass, without any laws to govern themselves, without leadership, right? Because of what Adam and Eve did, you know, we experience this this world right here. All right, keep reading.
Okay. Verse 15. Now therefore, why disquietest?
Therefore what?
Now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Verse 16. Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than which is present?
So what are you talking about right there, Zerah? Why haven't you considered this thing that is to come rather than what's present? Read it one more time.
Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come?
What is he talking about?
The kingdom of heaven.
Okay. And what do we mean by why you haven't considered it?
Because people living in today's time and now, not realizing that these things are to come to pass.
So you're saying the people don't believe that the kingdom of heaven is going to ever come?
They don't believe the true meaning, the true understanding. You know, but they believe some intimate Christian church.
Okay. Read that one more time.
Kind of one concept. Why hast thou not considered?
Let me see what you got. Go ahead and read.
Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present?
So why are we not considering the thing that this kingdom that is to come? Why haven't we really considered that? Go ahead.
Because of the danger that's set before us?
No, not this all. Why have we not considered this thing? Think about you before the truth came to you, right? What were you doing? What else? What else? What were you doing every Sunday? You was going to church every Sunday, right? Because the reason why you didn't consider, this is because you had already been filled up with lies. You had been lied to. You know what I'm saying? Mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? You thought you knew the Most High in Christ in the Bible. Or you were serving some other damn god, the god of weed, like you just spoke to. The woman god. You know what I'm saying? You was considering all of that stuff as, what you should pursue. So you didn't think, about this particular kingdom. All right? What verse was that?
That was verse 14, son.
Keep reading it.
Oh. slide up, verse 16. Verse 17.
Go ahead.
Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bears rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly should perish.
That's right. That's it?
That's it for verse 17.
All right, go to Ecclesiastes 12. 12 and read verse 13.
Ecclesiastes
Yeah.
12
and verse 13.
verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God
Go ahead.
and keep his commandments.
That is quintessential to enduring, man. I don't care what come up on you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you maintain that fear of the Lord, I don't care what is present before you. It could be $1 million that they're offering you to, you know what I mean, compromise the truth. If you maintain that fear of the Lord and knowing He's going to destroy your ass, you're gonna leave that money right there. You know what I'm saying? That is the conclusion of the whole matter. Make sure that you never get so cocky to where you don't fear the punishment and the retribution of the Most High. Read it one more time.
Verse 13. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
For this is what?
The whole duty of man.
This is the whole duty of man. You know what I'm saying? To fear the Most High. The Most High told the man that Christ told the Israelite men that Christ is their head. You know what I'm saying? So we always strive to do the things that Christ, you know, put before us, right? Likewise, you know what I mean, our women, our sisters, they have men that's over them. And the Lord said to obey your husband or submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. You know what I mean? Those things right there, man, like anytime a man is tempted, anytime a brother in the school is tempted to do something else other than what's prescribed by Christ, you better tap into that fear of the Lord. Likewise, sisters, man. Anytime you want to go against your husband, you better tap into that fear, that retribution, that punishment of the Most High, man, and get yourself back on your square. All right? Go to Mark, the 4th chapter, verse 16. And somebody else grab Proverbs 3 and 11. You already ate, Michelle? Huh? Huh? Quickly, Akim, I know y'all eating. Let's get these precepts. Let's go. Come on.
Book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 16. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness.
Think about those people, man. This brother's like a Habawan. He was just here. A Habawan guy, he's an engineer for, and me and him went to school together, believe it or not. Right? He went to the same school as myself, and pursuing engineering degrees in mechanics and electrical engineering. Right? Me and you had dinner with him before, did you not? You remember that, brother? Yeah, we talked about you know, our different backgrounds. Excellent brother, man, intelligent. Like I said, an engineer for General Motors, a Habawan. And when I heard me and him been friends for 20 years, 25 years, right? He received the breakdowns, man, with open arms, even so much so that he endured long enough to get his Hebrew name, right? So technically he'd been a trooper with a Hebrew name. But read that scripture one more time. This was him.
Verse 16. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word,
go ahead.
Immediately.
Now what's the stony ground metaphor? You understand that? Give it to me. What the sow on stony ground, what does that mean? What are we talking about? What's the metaphor?
That's talking about plants that grow out of the concrete.
Right, you've seen that before. Like you walk out the street right now, you see, I'm talking about literally right on the concrete, not between the cracks. I'm talking about you put a seed on concrete, sometimes it'll root. Sometimes the roots are attached into the concrete, right? And where it would, in the concrete, pull out the moisture that always accumulate in the pores of concrete, right? But how long can it last like that? You see that? Go ahead.
So you can only go so deep.
That's right. And you can only pull so many nutrients out of the concrete. All of a sudden, your body gonna need more. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna need more nutrients, right? But go ahead, read.
Verse 17. And had no root in themselves, and so endured, but for a time.
Endure for what?
But it's for a time.
Only endure for a time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, not getting foundated in your studies. Not it's the reason why we set up classes, man, 7 days a week damn near in the school. It's for brothers not to have an excuse as to why they fell off. Brother, it's a class going on 24/7 Israelite School UPK. I cut the TV off. I cut YouTube on at 4 in the morning. There's some brother, man, going live, breaking something down. We love the Bible so much, that's all we can talk about. There's no excuses in this day and time for brothers not to understand the Bible, given how much information we put out there, right? But those that, you know, rather stay in the world and focus on carnality, they're not going to be as foundated because they're not going to study as much. You know what I'm saying? You know, some brothers, man, should be tired of hearing you call them. There's some brothers out there that should be like, damn, this brother called me every damn day. We already know Commander General Muhammad, General Muhammad, they phone don't stop ringing. That's how it should be. Go ahead, Production Bar.
And also the scripture says, study to show yourself approved.
That's
like
right.
the scripture telling you to study, to even be approved of the Most High.
That's right.
So if you go through a process of not getting any knowledge, you got to go back to study. You know, watch it. Like Cap said, it's about 10 brothers that's going live Monday through Friday. If you don't catch the main class, you got all type of brothers, and then you can rewind it on the internet.
Classes on top of classes, man.
Right.
And brothers, man, coming up too, some powerful young men out there, man. I'm impressed with the level of intelligence out there as it relates to the Bible, man. These brothers have right now because of studying. You know what I mean? Because of their fear of the Most High. These brothers studying, breaking down the Bible. There is no excuse. So those that sow their seed on stony ground are those that have not. Are those that have not studied, man. You know what I mean? Logged onto our online classes. They didn't see a beautiful worldly package. You know how black people need to see big screen TVs everywhere and digital displays, and you know they want to see the latest and greatest. That's part of the reason why all the mom and pop shops went out of business. Because black people just need to see, you know, some visual. You know what I mean? So when they you know click on YouTube or Facebook and they don't meet that standard of the Christian church, a lot of them fall off. You know what I'm saying? So a man that don't study to show himself approved, that don't fear the Most High, is a man that have sown his seed on stony ground. Keep reading.
God, verse 17. And have no root in themselves.
They have not rooted themselves, man, in the school. You know, so for whatever we look like, you know what I'm saying? I know you niggas do not look like what they would consider priests. You niggas look like half of y'all just come out the penitentiary. You You know, the other half look like straight up street guys. How in the hell are y'all priests and prophets? That's what destroyed our people, man, because they got this visual of what Esau has implanted in their brains, man. They got the mark of the beast, man. All right? Keep reading.
And so endure, but for a time.
Only endure for a time, like the brother I was just talking about. Man, me and him the best of friends. Did so much partying back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It was all over everything. You know what I'm saying? I think no, let me stop. Again, that brother right there. You know what I'm saying? But he found this, you saw he came back to the school. He was in here, 3 hours today? You know, learning, man. Then you see all this hair, he grew the afro out here. Got the beard growing and shit. Looking like straight up Hebrew. I'm like, man, brother done changed over there here, didn't he?
I seen him in the Walmart about 4 months ago. He was like, you know, tell your slave name. I said, what's up? So I was like, who the hell is this?
Come.
And then I looked back, I said, damn.
Come.
That brother looked at the whole, he came in with a haircut looking like Hassan White first.
Yeah.
But now that brother got an afro.
Right. Afro, beard, right. And he been calling me, you know, I ain't mentioned it to y'all, but he been reporting to me. I just don't, you know, say anything about it until I see the brother actually show up. And he showed up today, so Most High in Christ. Mind you, he do work a ton of hours. Like I said, he an engineer in GM, so they keep him up in that place. But the important thing, man, is not to fall off, man. It's not to you know, root yourself on a goddamn piece of stone. You know what I mean? You want to come in here, man, and get deeply, deeply rooted. Because men in here are gonna try to run you the hell off. Me chief among them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to run you off. I hate brothers that come into the school and leave. You know what I mean? It's just a disgusting feeling, man. You know, like you done turned your back on the Most High, man. You was a so-and-so to me at that point. Swaggy for going off. Keep reading that. What verse you at?
My verse 17, sorry.
Okay, give me Proverbs 3 and 11. Who got that for me?
Proverbs 3 and 11, sir?
Come on, go ahead, read that.
I got it, sir. Proverbs 3, verse 11. My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord.
Hold on, what?
Despise not the chastising of the Lord.
Man, my son, despise not the chastising of the Lord, man. It ain't no greater honor than to be corrected by the Most High. Right. How does the Most High correct the man in the Israelite school, the UPK, Natazar?
The checking, sir.
Meaning through who? Through other men, right? Okay. Through a harsh, a staunch, a very, very, you know, like the check. Go ahead. You want to add to it?
Kind of one comment, sir, if I may. And that's so heavy what you said that to love being corrected by the Lord, because you know the ultimatum is just he'd rather just kill you and be done with it. Mm-hmm. But if he's chastising you and just giving you punishments to help you get right, then that means he wants to use you and he loves you.
That's right. Like to get corrected by the Most High is just so beautiful. Mm-hmm. You know, to have a man, correct you. You know what I'm saying? Like General Q, for instance. You know what I'm saying? He often correct me. General Muhammad. You don't want to hear from Commanding General Yana. Salaki. That's the one y'all think is General Muhammad. Salaki. You think General Muhammad gruesome, don't you, sometimes? You're like, I do not want to hear from this man at all, right? Salaki. That's the one, you're lucky you're hearing from General Muhammad. Or my little retribution for whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Who you do not want to get a call from in regards to corrective action is Commanding General Young. Like, you remember when you was a baby and you got hollered at or you got your ass whooped and you had that lump in your throat right here. Come on, man, y'all know what I'm talking about. Stop. Felt like a big ass apple right here.
Invisible ball.
You were about to cry and shit. That's a check-in from Commander Jeremy Hunter right there. And he gives no F's about how you feel after he corrects you. But what you should feel, you should feel what? Protected, man. You should feel like you're somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? You should feel, damn, the Lord got his eyesight on me, and this is a great honor to have men of this stature look at me and with enough respect to correct my actions. See what I'm saying? That's what you should feel. Read the scripture one more time. Not Desire, where you at, Hebrew?
Proverbs 3:11. My son, despise not the chastisement.
My son. That is beautiful right there. Think about that. My son. Who's the Most High talking to?
Us.
Talking to us, man. My son. Do what?
Despise not the chastisement of the Lord.
Lord. Don't despise it. Keep going. Precept. Precept. Go ahead. Give me the precept. I don't want you to paraphrase it. I want you to find it and give it to me.
We're in the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 10. Correction is grievous.
Perfect, right there.
Unto him that forsaketh the way.
Now read the other precept. I want you to go back to that. I want you to go back and forth. Somebody grab this one.
I got it.
I got the other one. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Got it, Kodash?
This is Hebrews 12 and 6. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
Read it again.
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
Read it again.
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
Give me that precept you had at first. I need y'all quick with these precepts because they're going right together, man. They should be like music. Go ahead.
Proverbs 15 and 10. Correction is grievous unto him.
One of the other one you was reading originally.
Proverbs 3 verse 11.
Go ahead.
My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord.
Go ahead.
Neither be weary of his correction.
Go ahead.
For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth.
For what?
For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth.
And so endure his checking, man. Endure the checking of the men that's above you, man. You know what I'm saying? When you get checked, when you get corrected, man, just know that it's the Lord, man, that's loving you right at that moment.
Right.
His way ain't your way. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's going to appear. Sometimes you ain't going to even understand it. It's been times where this is what I learned in the Israelite school in UPK. I learned to trust the system.
Right.
I learned to trust it. At times I didn't even understand. Like, damn, where is this coming from? What the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? This nigga, who is this nigga? This nigga, why you talking to me like that? I done got spoke to, man, in a way that I wanted to call back like, man, who the fuck you think you're talking to? All emotional, you know what I'm saying? But the brother showed me absolute love. 3 days later, I realized why he came to me the way he did. Because I did a disservice to myself and to the school. You know what I mean? So, you know, you want to temper your chastising with meekness and it's a level of how you should come across in the times where you have to correct a brother. Of course, sometimes you need to get in his ass, and then you got to know those that labor among you as well. No brothers that can take you coming at them a certain way. Some brothers not built for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how any brother above me come to me. It doesn't matter. If it's something that I've done that's outside of our protocol, out of our system, you know what I mean, where I mistakenly or I thought I was doing something one way and come to find out it wasn't the correct way. Brother got something to say to me, he above me, I don't care. You know, because I know that this correction that I'm receiving is correction because I'm the son of God. That's who you're talking to. You're talking to Jesus Christ's little brother. You see what I'm saying? And I am to be held at a standard way above what we see in our everyday society. So sometimes, man, if the offense is so, then the correction should match it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody need to be thinking about. That's coming from up under their mama's bosom. That in here we build men, and you ain't gonna like everything you hear all the time, and you certainly ain't gonna like everybody that bring you a particular thing in here. So what? This is the Lord's correction in here in the Israelite School of UPK, and we use the Bible to correct you. Nothing personal, all right? One more time, read all of those. What we had 3 precepts. And I'm gonna let you in, Kudash Tabar. Hold on. Read those 3 for me one more time. Go ahead, Natazar.
Sir. Proverbs 3 verse 11. My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction.
Neither be weary of his correction, man. You know, don't question it. Don't you know, that weary is always to worry and to be troubled. You know what I mean? Damn, why you talk to me like that? Why you always on my ass? You know what I'm saying? Because he wants you to be perfect, and you should be perfect. You should want to be perfect. You should want to be absolutely perfect because that's what the scripture says. Be ye as perfect as your Father is in heaven. Salaki. I mean, paraphrase that. But we strive for perfection, period. All right? So one more time, Natazar.
Sir. Proverbs 3 verse 11. My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction.
That's right. You got one, Kudash Tabar?
This is the same precept as Proverbs, but it's in the New Testament.
Go ahead.
Hebrews 12 and 5. And ye forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
And scourges every son whom he receives. So if you in here feeling some type of way about a checking, brother, instead of crying, you should smile. I mean, don't smile at the man while he's checking you, Salaki. You don't want to do that. He don't want to make you cry or something, you know. But like when you hear in the school feeling a certain type of way about a checking, but you know deep down inside that brother was right, but it made you feel a certain way, man, you needed that. We have another one? Give it to me.
I got Proverbs 15 and 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way.
That's the one I learned first right there. Go ahead.
And he that hateth reproof.
And he that what?
And he that hateth reproof.
And he that hate to be reproved. What are we talking about? And he that hate reproof. Go ahead. Let Natazar answer.
Basically what it's saying, the brother that turns his ear from the counsel or just say, you know what,
I want you to answer to this. And he that hate reproof. What are we talking about?
He hate correction.
That's right. To be reproved is to be corrected. To be straightened out. Alright? Brother La'ad, what you just said was absolutely wrong. How you approached that situation was not in the spirit of One West. Alright, you got to straighten that out, man. Don't ever let me see that again. You know what I'm saying? That's correction. You know, that's correction. Brother that hate me speaking to him in that way right there got a monster on his back. You wanted me to come and cuddle you, put you here, and kiss you before I tell you that you was wrong? If that's what you want, you should be in the IUIC.
That's right.
You shouldn't be in here, man.
That's right.
This is not the place for you right here in Israel School of UPK. We build men, man. We build men that will endure until Christ comes back. That's what we put out here on the earth. Real men that's willing to take correction from other real men. That's the only way you can make it into the kingdom of heaven. Is to endure, man. All right, keep. Where was we at, Slocky? That was what?
That was Proverbs 15. That was
Right, and he that hateth reproof. It's another part that I want everybody to hear and listen up to about that precept right there. Read it one more time from the top.
Come. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way.
That forsake the way. Go ahead.
And he that hateth reproof
Go ahead.
shall die.
Shall do what?
Shall die.
Shall what?
Shall die.
Shall be a goddamn corpse, man. Shall be a corpse. All right. You got a question? Go ahead. You want to go first? Dr. Bar?
I was just,
Go ahead.
I got the scripture.
Backing that up?
It's
Go ahead. Bring it up.
2 Timothy verse 2. 2 Timothy 2. Yeah, chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Christ.
Damn right. Endure hardness, man. As a good what?
As a good soldier of Christ.
And I certainly want to be counted as a soldier in the army of Christ. So, sometimes, like when you don't understand a checking or a correction, sometimes you want to get clarity. And I sometimes, I go to a man above me and I say, I know I'm fucked up in my head right now. Excuse my language. I know it is, but I got this demon in here and I need him to be exorcised. I need him up out of here. And then I explain the situation and the brother will give me the absolute One West breakdown. And I'll be like, the water, Slovakia. That's exactly what I need. The water out of wine. Because in here, it's levels to it. Of course, we come in as babes and we don't understand any goddamn thing. We get the milk scriptures because it's romantic. You know what I mean? It brings you from, hating yourself to loving yourself. It's all romantic in the beginning, but in the middle, it's a little more difficult. It's a little bit more difficult, man. 5, 6, 7, 8 years in. 10 years in. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult. And I can imagine 30 years, 35, 40 years in. Oh my God, it got to be extremely hard. But it's important to, to endure that hardness, man, like a good soldier, period. You out in the field. Think about the earth right now as a battlefield. The earth is your battlefield. Everything that you encounter in life is a battle. When you wake up in the morning, man, and you look in the mirror, it's a battle, man. It's absolutely warfare. Every day you get in the mirror. Every day you wake up, you open your eyes up, it should be something that some of us should always think about immediately after opening our eyes up. I ain't gonna tell you what my ritual is, but it's things that I do early in the morning that I have to do every day because I know I'm about to go into hell. I advise some of you in this room right now, based on the amount of counsel that I give, to establish a course of actions for you that you never deviate from every day. You want to mix it with prayer. You want to. Sometimes some of y'all need to talk to somebody every day. Get you a brother, man, that's in the truth, man, and up in here, founded, man. You talk to him every goddamn day, and some of y'all need to be told what to do. You need a step-by-step approach so you won't ruin your goddamn life. And it ain't bad, man. We need that in the beginning. So we can what? Put off that old man and embrace this new man. Put off that old woman and embrace that brand new baby girl. Some of us need day to day, hour to hour counseling if we could get it. This shit is hard we in, man. We've been in this so damn long. It's easy to make it a part of everything. Like it's some things like you know in your soul is a reflection of what you learned in the world. You know it's a reflection of what you've learned in the world, what people taught you in the world, but you bring it into the truth. And you try to ignore the fact that you learned this in the world from a worldly perspective and you holding on to it in the truth. Some of y'all know that, man. So what you must do is you got to write a scenario for your life or get the blueprint from somebody above you. But by all means, man, if you don't like something about yourself, do something to change it. The battle begins when you open your eyes up, man. And it ain't with another brother or sister. It's with your own self. Really, you got to endure that demon in you that's telling you to please your flesh. That's the problem right there. That demon is telling you, feed your flesh, please your flesh. You owe it to your flesh. Slocky, keep reading. What was you at, Proverbs 3?
So that was Proverbs 15 and 10.
Yeah, go to Con. Yeah, give me Proverbs 3, verse 11 now. And somebody else grab Hebrews 12 and 4. Proverbs 3 and 11 and Hebrews 12 in the 4th chapter.
In the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Neither be weary of his correction.
That was what?
That was Proverbs.
Slocky, we read that one. Give me Hebrews 12 and 4. Somebody give me James 1 and start at verse 10. Hebrews 12 and 4.
Hebrews 12 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin.
Mm-hmm.
Read on, sir.
Please.
And ye have forgotten an exhortation which speaketh.
Slocky, give me Hebrews 12, start at verse 1.
Well,
Hebrews chapter 12,
verse 1.
Verse 1 through 4 is what.
Kind of, sir. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight, and the sin which doeth so easily beset us.
Just slow it down a little bit.
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
And let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
What is the race that's set before us? Not desire. What's the race that's set before us?
Rulership in the kingdom, sir.
Slocky, not desire. You're right. The race that's set before us is what we described in the beginning, that narrow path, whereas the entrance is narrow as well, and there's danger on both sides. The race is, can you get there without going left and right? You see that? That's the race right there. All right, keep going.
Verse 2, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith.
Go ahead.
Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
You see that? He did what?
Endured the cross.
What did Yahushua do?
Endured the cross.
Keep going.
Despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the Lord, of the throne of God.
That's right. What verse is that?
Verse 2, sir.
Keep going.
Verse 3. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be weary and faint in your mind.
That's why when we was reading 2nd Esdras 7 and 6, the precept about one that would inherit the kingdom, that's the reason why I said it was Christ. Again, I'm abstracting behind it. It could be twofold. All right, it could be talking about both. But it seemed to me that, read that one more time, that last verse.
Sir. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be weary and faint in your minds. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin.
Ye have not yet resisted unto blood. Damn. What was that right now? Ye have not yet resisted unto blood. Go ahead. Striving for what?
Striving against sin.
Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. So it's saying resisting blood is synonymous with striving against sin. Go ahead, Bashar, you got something?
Question. The precept could that be the sister who resisted eating pork and her sons eating pork and they all died?
Well, don't think eating. Don't think eating something physical.
Well, we're saying sin, son.
Well,
it was
you can use that, but
they're
this.
to sin, the kings eat it.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, don't think eating. Don't think eating food. I should say. Right. Read it one more time. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood. What?
Striving against sin.
You have not yet resisted unto blood. What is blood? Blood is flesh. Blood is carnal. Blood is things that that we like it's a physical thing. All right. You have not resisted unto blood, striving what?
Against sin.
You have not resisted like the flesh. Think about that. Blood is like synonymous with the flesh. You have not yet resisted the flesh, striving against sin. Like what your flesh command you to do, oftentimes you obey it. Whether it's getting high or, fornicating, serving your flesh. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Come on, sir.
Move it off the face of this screen right here, Kudash Bar. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. That was Hebrews 12, right?
Come on, sir. 12. And ye have forgotten an exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastising of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
So I'm bringing up these precepts that tell you never to despise the correction of the Most High. Why am I bringing all of these precepts out? What's the topic of the class? Go ahead. To endure. To endure. Think about Job, man. Think about how Satan attacked Job. You know what I'm saying? Think about just think about how difficult it is to come to class, to make it here for some of us. You got the slavery, you got your wives, you got your children. Everybody want you, right? You such great men, man. Everybody want to control y'all. Think about that. The man or woman that controls such a powerful man as you all sitting out there right now, got a lot of power in their arsenal. Think about that. It's very difficult not to want to control y'all, being so goddamn powerful. Who don't want the power of men such as yourselves that gave up all manner of fornication, right? That believe in the Most High, that work every goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? Who don't want to control such powerful men? Satan definitely wants you. And Satan gonna go through any means by hook or crook to control y'all. You got to endure that shit, man, and stay fast in this truth. Pay your tithes, right? Come to class every week. Go to camp as often as you can. Endure Satan and endure his vessels, man. Endure his prophets. You see what I'm saying? Endure the people that he set up to rule over your dumb ass. And you don't even know it. You got to endure it, man. All right? Slaki, keep reading.
Come on, sir. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, and scourge every son whom he receiveth.
You see all y'all out there, man. Some of y'all, man, come to me every day, and I have no problem with it. It's a man that I damn near go to weekly, if not a few times a week, and I don't like to have to call him so goddamn much, but the brother is so on point in terms of helping me with my issues. I can't resist it. I need his help. I lean on him. You know what I'm saying? And likewise, I get similar calls, but it's what should I say? Keep the calls coming, but take the counsel. One thing that I do not do, I don't get counsel and then go against it. I learned as a young man, when you go against the counsel, you're going to destroy yourself. So you want to get the counsel, stick with the counsel. Don't go in there and ask for counsel if you're not going to, accept the counsel. Don't do that. Then the man that's counseling look at you like, damn, I'm wasting my time even talking to you. All right, keep reading.
Come on, sir. If ye endure chastising, God dealeth with you as with sons.
As with what?
As with sons.
If you endure the chastising, God dealeth with you. The Most High deal with you as with his son, man. Think about that honor. That's why I say when your flesh is feeling aggrieved for this man constantly on your ass about the dump you doing every day, you feeling aggrieved, right. When you should be feeling loved. You should be feeling a certain amount of protection and a certain amount. You should appreciate that brother, man. And don't get that confused with abuse of power. That's not what I'm talking about. Brother gave you good sound counsel today, and he see you going against it tomorrow, and he come to you and say, "Come on, Hebrew, you're wasting my goddamn time because you ain't obeying anything." And guess what I do? I make sure that I don't counsel men unless I understand exactly what's going on and what to give them. I'll speak to you today, and you call me tomorrow. I've already discussed your situation. Maybe I have not, included your name, but I've discussed your scenario, and I've gotten good information from the men above me, and they've told me how to handle certain scenarios in there. And that's how I do it. If I have not experienced it before and I don't understand how our system, then I ask a question and I get the right answer and I give it to you. If you don't follow the counsel and then the next week you're getting your head is bust open, that's the Lord right there dealing with you. No, you don't want the way he wants to straighten your ass out. You don't want his wrath. You'd rather for a man to bark at you about being inconsistent and out of order than for the Lord to deal with your ass. Because it's different the way he corrected you. Yeah, right. All right. What verse was that, priest?
Come on, sir. That was verse 7, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But if ye be without, Salakia, sir. Verse 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
You see that? If you doing the things in the earth, man, and you're not receiving correction, the Lord is saying you're just a bastard. You're not my son. That's why you should love every time you're corrected by the Most High. It's a blessing to be corrected. You out here doing all sorts of abominations, man, and committing all sorts of frauds. And you going on without any correction, and the Lord saying you ain't my son. That's why I ain't dealing with you. Because what? Give me a precept to that right there.
What, sir?
Give me a precept to that. Read it one more time.
Come, sir. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
Give me a precept to that. It's a milk scripture. I can think of 2 milk scriptures that could complement that right there. Who can? Go ahead, give me one.
John 1 and 12.
That ain't the milk, but you can give me that. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. John 1 verse 12. But as many as received him, to him gave he the power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe.
I'm looking for like Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou reject knowledge, I will reject you. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy fathers, I will also forget thy children. You know, precepts like that. Meaning, if he's dealing with you and correcting you, right? He correcting you in the matter of a son, right? If he's not dealing with you, then you just a goddamn bastard. So what he's saying is, you're destroyed because you have forgotten my law, and because you've forgotten my law, you're gonna receive, a punishment. It's another one. As for his judgment, they have not known that, which is, I think it's Psalms 147 and 19. That's the other one that I would kind of put with that. You know what I mean? Because the Lord is only dealing with us. He don't know the other nations.
Right.
If he ain't dealing with you, correcting you, you a bastard.
Right.
You a Gentile. You see what I'm saying? All right, go ahead, Zara.
So I meant to ask you, at the beginning of the class, but what was your outlook on that advertisement that just came out, the back to school commercial with the kids?
I didn't see it.
Bring it up, but it had the commercial basically was like kids. It's like it's back to school time, and in the background you can see the kids getting shot.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Getting shot, and then one bleeding out.
No.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't Photoshop?
No. The thing is, it's a commercial. It's an advertisement. Back to school time.
Well, where did you see it at?
The Sandy Hook.
It was like.
No.
She want that on mouth shop. It's a public service announcement. PSA that came through PBS. There's a big controversy because it does show the Sandy Hook shooting in this PSA. It's a back to school PSA, but it's showing kids that are using everyday items, their computer, their notebook, their pencil,
right,
lighting up on their desk to escape a mass.
Really? Okay. Well, this is prophecy right here. What you're seeing is the result of terrorism. You know what I mean? Like the number one terrorist in the earth is our oppressor. And what's happening right now is the proof that the Bible is real, because the Bible says he's gonna be terrorized. The same bastard that put us in chains, at some point in the future, he's gonna be the victim of terrorism. So you just seeing that playing out right now. That would be what I would, just in the initial, way y'all broke it down to me, I would say that's what he's going through. He wants to protect his children from mass shooting because he's afraid. He's been terrorized. All right.
What you had to add to show you?
Yeah, Kodash Tabar, can you find that? Can you find that ad they talking about Hebrew?
The Sandy Hook ad. Promise video.
Do you got a video?
You should be able to play it.
Video right here. I'm about to switch the camera on.
Group formed after the Sandy Hook massacre has released a shocking new PSA. NBC's Kate Snow has it for us. I've got to warn you, it may be upsetting to you.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
It's been watched by more than 7 million since just this morning. Kids showing off their back to school gear, then using those items to escape from
I can't see it, Chris. Can you?
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
The PSA culminates with a girl hiding from the shooter in a bathroom, texting her mom, "I love you."
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Was she in a Sandy Hook or this
is like an ad?
Nicole Hockey
she
lost
like
her
an
6-year-old son Dylan at Sandy Hook.
Why do a PSA this? It's hard to watch. We don't want people to turn away from it. Pretending it doesn't exist is not helping to solve it.
These new socks? They can be a real lifesaver.
The PSA tweeted out by nearly every Democratic candidate for president today as Attorney General Bill Barr was on Capitol Hill talking to Republicans about a proposal to expand background checks on some gun sales, though the president has not yet signed off on that.
There are a lot of people in the administration that are very supportive.
While lawmakers talk, community members are stopping attacks. Just today, a 17-year-old in Wisconsin and 3 teens in West Virginia arrested for threatening to kill people at school, joining a list of more than a dozen teens arrested so far this school year for making threats. Sandy Hook Promise runs programs teaching students and parents signs to look for. You've stopped things from happening.
Yes, without a doubt we have. It's also heartbreaking at the same time because it was too late for us.
Kate Snow, NBC News, New York.
Damn.
Group formed after the Sandy Hook massacre.
Give me them scriptures on terrorism, Kodash Bar. You got them? Give it to me.
Hello, Khan, sir. Jeremiah 20, verse 10. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side.
Hold on. You heard what?
Fear on every side.
Go ahead.
Report, say they, and we will report it. All my family, all my familiars watch for my haughty, saying, pre-adventure he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him.
What you witnessing right now with the commercials like that, man, is the white man being terrorized. You know what I'm saying? He's in a state of absolute terror, man. He's wondering what's going to happen to his children. He's so afraid that what he has done in America and abroad is going to now come back on him. That's the era we're living in right now, man. The era of retribution, and they so afraid. You got another one?
I got one, sir.
Give it to me.
49 and 5.
Oh, this is.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will bring a fear upon thee, saith the Lord God of hosts.
That's what you're saying, man. They so afraid that it's going to be their children next that they got to, make these type of precautions. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
From all those that be about thee, and ye shall be driven out, every man right forth.
That's enough right there. What you're witnessing right now in that ad right there is the white man being so terrorized that, he got to think about, making ads like this resonate with, the average person. You know what I'm saying? Like typically, you want to just drop your child off at school and pick them up. That's what you want to do every day. You don't have to be concerned with what's going to happen if somebody comes to school with a gun. That used to be what we feared in black neighborhoods.
Right.
It used to be about who was going to have the burner at school in black neighborhoods. Now, man, on a mass level, man, white kids is going into white schools and shooting up everybody. That's what he has done is now in his backyard right now. Go ahead.
Clark, sir, if I may. I remember, being in high school and, having the metal detectors for the guns.
Right.
I knew cats that had a gun that was still bringing them into school, but it wasn't never that fear that they was going to, kill everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, these white kids, man, killing everybody. Everybody. Now this girl right here, she reminded me of a girl that was in something before. She's an actor. I know her from some damn thing she did before.
The black chick? The black girl?
It was something, yeah, the little black girl. Any other questions on the floor right now, y'all?
If I could, sir, it's like the kids' image is not, like, because of this ad is out, I have nieces and nephews that's like, you know, I'm kind of worried about going to school. You know, like due to that ad, I got nieces and nephews that's kind of scared of going to school right now.
Yeah, but it ain't happening to black folks. That's happening in white neighborhoods. All right, any other questions? Questions about anything, y'all?
So that's the actual
No questions?
ad, so.
All right, if there's no questions, turn the class over to precinct officers of Rock for reading of the security announcements.
Khan.
I know what I brought over here. This ain't part. This ain't going part.
Khan. Add some more rice and chicken to that, please. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests are not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The memorial blowing of the trumpets, September 28th and 29th. 2019, Salakia, September 28th, 2019. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That's boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. We want to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Hamajim Shabbat, Hamajim Barak, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Kazabata, dismissed.
Trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues. Call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good record. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? With them the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with a